Today, the tensions in the Middle East have surged to a dangerous level as compared to the recent months. Iran has launched attacks on Israel, and Israel has also intercepted those missiles sent by the Iran. It is also said that there's a friction between Tel Aviv and Washington. Trump has said to have reported that he had expected a deal on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, but he now doesn't see that happening. So, to untangle the cobweb of this cobweb of complex geopolitical scenario, we have with us Muhammad Amir Rana, and I am Ammara Zaheer, and I welcome you, sir, here today.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ammara.
So let us dive right into our questions. So what do you think, sir, is triggering the recent conflicts between the Israel and Iran? Do you think that Strait of Hormuz is the reason, and how do you think UAE and other countries in the region are responding to these conflicts?
Yeah, thank you, Ammara. The conflict is still evolving, and seems that the peace deal, which we anticipating happen soon, I think it will take a little more time, as the Israel is playing a role of the spoiler. We had discussed it, I think, in our last discussion as well. So this is the Israel design that he want to achieve maximum before any peace pact between US and Iran. And obviously he want to weaken the Iranian defense capabilities. That's the reason that they are striking on the key infrastructure inside Iran, as happened yesterday. And it's, of course, triggered the Iranian IRGC to respond and to target the Israel. So this is the latest escalation. I think we shouldn't lose the hope, as the peace talks still going on and the Pakistan mediation is still going on. It seems that something we can anticipate in coming weeks. And on the way back from Bishkek, our interior minister had stopped over Tehran, and he had exchanged views and perhaps the ideas what is going on between US and Iran. So let's see. The one side we witnessing a escalation in the conflict, and it may be the last opportunity for Israel and even for the US to achieve maximum targets, or the goals they wanted to achieve in Iran. But at the same time, the peace talks going on, and obviously the burden is going to Iran, which many analysts believe that this may be the Iran which is taking much time in these negotiations, and other side Trump is in haste and wanted to achieve, because internal pressure is increasing, and recent elections which also put a lot of pressure on Trump. So the Trump is eager to bargain a deal, but Iran is also trying to bargain and to achieve maximum out of this deal.
Thank you, sir. So my next question is, could Hezbollah open a northern front against Israel in case of further escalations between Iran and Israel?
Of course, this is very important to see that how Israel targeting the Hezbollah in Lebanon, and despite the ceasefire, which had created the little optimism that Israel will stop its aggression inside Lebanon, and perhaps it's a little window is available for Israel to do what it want to do in Lebanon, in Iran.
Is Israel capable of returning to full-scale hostilities with the other countries in the region, especially Iran, without the support of US?
I don't think that Israel can do anything without the backing of the US. And despite the US and Israel have the certain differences over their strategies about Iran and what is happening in Lebanon, and you might have seen the very interesting interaction of the President Trump with the media in the US, and he lashed out on the Bibi Netanyahu that how he is playing with all the dirty games, and even he had used very abusive words for Bibi Netanyahu, which indicate maybe the pressure is mainly on the US, and Israel know that it cannot achieve anything without the U.S. backing, and this is going to be a very critical moment between Israel and U.S. relationship, and is of course it will change the dynamics after this war if the Iran and U.S. agreed on any peace deal. So Israel may not be able to do all alone anything, and the another issue that there's a we were thinking that Iran is the only isolated power in Middle East, but how Israel is getting isolated within the region and even losing its moral and political support in the West. This is also a very interesting case that how is lose its support. So this is maybe the for Israel. This is a time to review and think what they had did in this region to protect itself and to create several shields protecting its territory or its national interest.
Thank you, sir. Sir, what do you think that how strong and capable and active are the Iran-backed proxies in the Middle East that are in Yemen, Lebanon, and Syria?
Syria, I think this is the lost case now for Iran because of the Ahmad Shah government there. So there is even not a little space available for any intervention for Iran so far, as is already engaged in the high scale conflict in the region. So Houthis, I think the Iran is mainly banking upon, and the Houthis also had made a few strikes inside Israel and on the other U.S. interests in the region, and this is the one of the headache for the Saudis as well. So they are, I think, a more critical non-state actors so far, which is more come up as a major irritant. Hezbollah is trying to retaliate, but is in a survival mode right now because of the constant the attacks by Israel and before the assassination of its key leader Hassan Nasrallah and all the leading commander by Israeli spying agencies. So Hezbollah is not as strong as it was before, and uh, the perceptions or the views we are getting from Lebanon, I think the common Lebanese, they are also worried about the situation and especially the presence and retaliatory attacks by Hezbollah on Israel, because ultimately is causing the more damage to human losses and the physical losses to a common Lebanese. So this is, I think, only potent non-state actors which is supporting or may trigger expand the conflict are the Houthis.
So you mentioned about the public showdown between Netanyahu and Trump. How significant is this showdown? Do you think that this showdown, that aggression that Trump showed, has something to do with the pressure he's feeling at home, as his powers have also been curtailed in the Congress by the Congress?
Yes, of course, this is one of the reason, and what happened during the recent state elections there. So this is multiplying the pressure on Trump administration, and they were thinking maybe the Israel will at least to honor his words they had committed with U.S. and with Lebanon, and this is not happening, and Israel is in full aggression mode. So this is, of course, creating the pressure, and especially during in the Congress session, it wasn't only the Democrats, but also a few Republicans also voted against Trump's and his campaign in Iran. So, of course, these are the very clear indication that how the domestic pressure is building up on Trump.
My last question to you, sir, is that what do Iran's claim of crossing all red lines claim reveal about its current threshold before the escalations?
Right. So Iran attempt is to gain maximum because this is the golden opportunities which Iran gained after this war, despite of the heavy losses during the war. So it's primarily, of course, they want to deal something on Strait of Hormuz, and then their nuclear program and the compensations they are claiming, and most importantly, that they got the internal support, which is, though it's very contested, because very few news are coming inside Iran what had happened, all these resistance movements against the regime. Apparently, there is a coherence being increased, and unity prevailed within Iran. So this is also strengthening the nationhood within Iran, and the support for the regime is increasing. So they are basically eyeing on this domestic sport, which is very important for them, and they gained this after a long time. And then, of course, they want to expand their regional influence within the Middle East, and even in the neighbor in Central Asia. So this is, of course, is the prime moment for Iran, and they want this. If they been hurry making a deal with US, I think there is a thinking within Tehran they may lose a lot on table which they had gained in the battlefield.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time and your insightful remarks. We will see you again in another video. Until then, like, share, and subscribe the channel. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Mara.